Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat 4 Career Mode. I hope you're all having a great day. Today, we go to just a Cup Series at Martinsville Raceway, a track that I'm looking forward to quite a bit, so I was very excited to get into this one. So hopefully we can have a good run here at the paperclip there. As you see your standings on the screen currently, all the top 40. McMurray down at the very bottom as we come through straight into qualifying here at Martinsville, going down into turns 3. It was a pretty good lap as we came through out of turns 4. The goal was a 20.236. We would come across the line to hit a 19.699. And we would go P5 here for Martinsville in qualifying. So hopefully we can have a strong run today and run up front. Maybe even contend for a win with Truex on the pole going into the Martinsville paperclip.
We're live from Martinsville Speedway for the STP 500. Now Martinsville is known as the paperclip due to its unique shape. This historic track is the shortest in NASCAR, and the venue is overflowing with fans excited to see our first short track race of the year.
All right, thank you, Rick Allen. We are ready to go green here today for the STP 500 at Martinsville Speedway. BJ McLeod likes us, so he's going to give us plenty of room. Chase Elliott failed optical scanning station multiple times, so he's starting at the back, and Truex on the pole. Chase Elliott, a driver that usually runs pretty well here recently at Martinsville, so that's going to be a big shot to that 9 team as they got a lot of work to do as we get ready to start here today at Martinsville from the 5th position now as the green flag is out, and we are underway here at the paperclip now as we make the stretch down towards turns 1. Truex and Denny Hamlin, 2 JGR teammates on that front row as we look to the inside of one of our Stewart-Haas Racing teammates of Kevin Harvick as we exit turn 2, heading down this back straightaway side by side with Harvick as we go down into turns 3 and turns 4. And out of turns 4, sure enough, we have the edge over Harvick, and we actually clear him out of turns 4 as Truex leads the first lap as we look to the inside now of Denny Hamlin. So we're going to try and come through to take over the 3rd position as we come through turns 1 and now on the exit of turn 2 side by side with Denny Hamlin down the back straightaway. Hamlin has a lot of success at this racetrack as well, so we have to watch out for him today as they got a little bit loose into the entrance and actually got up on the curb. As we come out of turn 4, we do clear Denny Hamlin for that 3rd position now as we try to chase down Matt DiBenedetto as we came through now on lap 4, though, making a bit of a mistake into turns 1, going a little bit wide, and that allows our teammate of Kevin Harvick to look to my inside as we go down this back straightaway. Hamlin behind us had gotten passed by Bowman as that would actually slide in just behind Kevin Harvick as we came through turns 3 and turns 4 now as we came out of the corner, just barely tapping the wall, pretty tight at this point, but Harvick, he would pass DiBenedetto, and we would come through as well to look to the inside of Matt DiBenedetto as we went down towards turns 1 now on the 10th lap, I believe this was, as we came through the center of turns 1 and turns 2, exiting the corner down the back straightaway, still side by side at this point with the 95 of DiBenedetto as we went down into turn 3, though, but we would be able to have the edge to the center of the corner and clear DiBenedetto for that 3rd position and try to chase down Truex and Harvick, and they would actually start to run down lap traffic, but there was one issue. The car was starting to get really loose on the exit of the corner the more laps that we put on the car now as we came through now on lap 20. You can see all the lap traffic still running P3 at this moment, getting very sideways right there at a turn 2. You can see what I was dealing with at this point, and it would just continue to get worse and worse as the laps went on as we came through turns 3 and turn 4, just taking it easy now as we exit turn 4 as I was not able to push it there. You see me fighting the car on the exit of the corner, and as we came through to the next lap, there's a car smoking just in front of us at a turn 2. It's Jamie McMurray, last place in points, having more issues as we go down this back straightaway into turn 3. Thankfully, we avoid that without any issues now as we came through the center of the corner out of turns 4, just hanging on to this ill-handling car at this point now as we came through on lap 25, still running P3. Truex, Harvick 1-2, getting sideways on the exit of turn 2. A big save, but that allows DiBenedetto to go right on past as we go down into turn 3. I didn't even challenge him for the position because the car was so bad now as we came through on lap 27 through turn 3 and turns 4 sideways once again, and we overcorrect into the outside wall, and that's a pretty hard hit to the outside wall, and the caution's actually going to come out and end the first stage 4 laps or so early. Now we have damage on the right side of the car. We get P4 on the stage, 5 seconds of damage on the car, so we kind of got lucky there, and I decided to put the wedge up just a little bit there to see if it would improve the handling of the car. We would lose a bunch of positions, though. We finished P4 in stage 1, we dropped down to P13 here for the 2nd stage, and it's a terrible restart from myself getting up through the gears as we go down into turns 1. They're going to go 4 wide in front of us on a restart at Martinsville. That usually would not work in real life. 3 wide sometimes, most of the time doesn't really go well, but we pounce on it now as we look to the inside here of Denny Hamlin, but I go a little bit deep, and now Ty Dillon's going to make it 3 wide on the inside now as Hamlin gets clear, so now it's just side by side between myself and Ty Dillon as we come through to complete the first lap of the 2nd stage as we go down into turns 1, sliding in behind the 13 now of Ty Dillon as we come through the center of the corner out of turns 2, heading down this back straightaway. Denny Hamlin and Ty Dillon are now on our outside as we're going to take them 3 wide as we exit turn 4, heading down the front straightaway, being aggressive because we know we have a pretty fast car here in Martinsville. Now as we clear Ty Dillon, who's going to turns 1, but once again, we go deep, and Ty Dillon's going to make it 3 wide up the inside again as we exit turn 2, heading down this back straightaway. Thrilling racing here on the opening laps of the second stage. I back out of the 3 wide, give Ty Dillon a little bit of a shot to the bumper, kind of letting him know that I'm a little bit annoyed with him now as we exit turn 4, heading down this front straightaway, though, trying to clear Denny Hamlin as we cross the line. 31 to go in this second stage as we close in on the back now of the 13 of Ty Dillon as we exit turn 2. We have the run, so we're going to look to the inside. He tries to protect low, but we get even lower than Ty Dillon is going to turn 3, but once again, we send it in a little deep, and Hamlin's going to do what Ty Dillon's been doing and send it up the inside 3 wide now as we go down this front straightaway, getting very annoyed with some of these drivers at this point as we go into turns 1, giving Hamlin just a tiny little shot to the bumper now as Jones also tries to follow through on the inside, but thankfully we would get away with this as we came through a few laps later. You see me sending it up the inside, up the 11 of Hamlin and the 32 of Corey LaJoie as we exit turn 2. Now finally re-entering the top 10. That whole scrap with Hamlin and Ty Dillon really set our pace behind as we came through now to lap 13, still running P10. We had run down the 9th place driver though of Alex Bowman as we're going to go through for a little bit of a crank it up here as I'll go silent and let you guys listen in.
Laps to go.
Alright, there was your crank it up. You can see just how loose the car is now as we came out of turns 4 at this point now on lap 22, looking up the inside actually of Alex Bowman as we exit turn 2, but the car is just so loose. I was just hanging on for dear life. These adjustments didn't really help, so I knew we're going to have to go up even further at the end of the stage. Now as we have more trouble up ahead though as we exit turn 4, we're going to look to the inside. Someone's blowing up. I think it's the 66 car of Joey Gase, and we all of a sudden find ourselves in second place as we exit turn 2. We went from I think 9th to second in that whole skirmish there as we came through turns 3 and turns 4. Kyle Busch putting some pressure on from behind those. We exit turn 4 at this point as we came through on lap 28, making a bit of a mistake, allowing Kyle Busch to look to my inside as we exit turn 2, heading down this back straightaway now as we go down into turn 3, sliding in behind the 18 of Kyle Busch with the 4 of Kevin Harvick just behind me as we exit turn 4 sideways again, and then allows Harvick to pounce on it, and he looks to the inside as we go down into turns 1 with 6 to go here in the second stage. They're just hanging on for dear life as we exit turn 2. I just cannot drive this car right now. We would continue falling down the order. We got passed by Kurt Busch. Now Benedetto looks to my inside as we come through turns 1 and turns 2, just continuing to slide on the exit of the corner. I made the car tighter on pit road, but it actually felt looser this time around, which is very surprising as we come through to the final lap. We had at least held on as we went down this back straightaway here for the final time. Martin Truex Jr. already crossing the line, winning stage 2 as we exit turn 4, just making sure we keep the car clean as we come through to finish the second stage, and really 6th place with considering how bad the car was driving. I was pretty happy with that, and I was just figured that if we could get this car driving good, then we could really have some true potential here to run well in this third and final stage. So I decided we're going to take, of course, 2 cans of fuel, 4 tires, repairs, and I'm going to put the wedge up quite considerably, and it might not be the best call, make the car too tight, but I decided we're going to actually put it up all the way to 48.3, but in reality I should have maybe went up to the 49s even, obviously 50 kind of being neutral, so I felt like still not going up far enough, but I didn't want to go up too far, as we did lose 1 position though on the pit stop, which I was happy with, because now we're on the inside for the start of this third and final stage. Martin Truex Jr. has put on a dominating performance so far here at the Paperclip as we go down into turns 1 and turns 2. Harvick and Benedetto battle side by side for P2 and P3s. We clear Alex Bowman for 6th place as we go down down the back straightaway into turn 3. We look to the inside of Kurt Busch as we come through the center of the corner now as we exit turn 4, side by side with the one car now as we go down into turns 1, completing the first lap of that third and final stage now as we exit turn 2, clear of Kurt Busch for P5 as we go down this back straightaway. So moving our way forwards as we came through, Kyle Busch had actually passed our teammate of Harvick, and we would look to the inside of Harvick going a little bit deep into turn 3. That's certainly been an issue today, but we make it work as we exit turn 4, clearing Harvick, and as we came through on lap 72, now up the inside of Kyle Busch. As we continue to charge forwards, taking over P3 as we go down this front straightaway side by side with the JGR driver. Truex leads the way. We have a lot of JGR cars up front. Obviously, the 95 of De Benedetto is a JGR affiliate as he runs P2. A great run right now for De Benedetto as we came through now on lap 73, slowly closing in on the back of De Benedetto here with 52 laps to go, but we end up getting a caution here with 52 to go, and that's going to set us up for a restart in P3 as it's Ryan Truex who brings up the yellow flag as we have an opportunity here to put the pressure on now Martin Truex Jr. maybe for the lead. If we play our cards correctly now as the green flag is back out, and once again we are underway here at Martinsville as with less than 50 laps to go now as we go through turns 1 up the inside of the 95 of Matt De Benedetto now as we exit turn 2 side by side down the back straightaway. Boyer and Harvick battle behind us side by side. 2 of our other teammates, Almirola, really nowhere to be found, so we don't know where our other 4th teammate is, but we exit turn 2 in front of Matt De Benedetto, who is now on the outside of Clint Boyer as we go down into turns 1, setting it in pretty deep again, trying to set our sights on Martin Truex Jr., but now at this point the car started to struggle a little bit there as you see me a few laps later dealing with the loose car on the exit of the corner as we go down into turns 1. Boyer on my inside, just a little bit of contact made between myself and my teammate of Boyer as we exit turn 2, so he takes over the second position as we drop down to P3 as we go down into turn 3 behind Boyer. Now Kyle Busch would put on the pressure as we came through on lap 87. Sure enough, Busch looks to my inside as we exit turn 4, heading down this front straightaway, so now we drop down to that 4th position as we're slowly starting to reel in lap traffic at this point as Truex is within range of those lap cars as we came through now on lap 92, losing a lot of time at this point, unfortunately, as the car was really starting to struggle. You see how loose I was again on the exit of turn 4. Sure enough, Bowman, he would be able to get to my outside as we were starting to deal with lap traffic at this point as we exit turn 2, sliding all around on the exit of the corner. I was a little bit scared driving this car, to be completely honest, but I was just hoping that we could at least hang on as we came out of turn 4, heading down that front straightaway. As now we came through a few laps later, Blaney had actually gotten past me as we exit turn 4, getting very sideways again. There's our teammate Kevin Harvick. We nearly cleaned him out and ourselves out as the car just continued to struggle, so we gave up another spot to Bowman running P7 at this point, but now we're closing in on the late stages of this race, and now green flag pit stops are actually starting to come into effect now as we're just trying to hang on at this point. There's the leader of Martin Truex Jr. actually came into the pit lane, so we come through with on lap 120 deciding that it is time to make our pit stop now as we don't have enough fuel to get to the end. As we go down towards the pit lane, we hit the 0-0 in the back of Landon Castle and we pick up 4 seconds of damage, but we don't repair it. Obviously there's no point, so we take no tires, no repairs. We come in for a 3.1 or so second pit stop, 3 to be exact now as we exit the pit lane. There's the leader of Martin Truex Jr. and all of a sudden we come out somehow here in P4 and there's still a few cars pitting, so we might actually cycle out into the second position. We still have a lot of front end damage. I was just hoping it stayed green at this point because we have a huge opportunity to get a good rebound here in the final laps as we're continuing to slide around now with 4 laps to go here at Martinsville Raceway. Surprisingly, no AI created cautions in this race as we exit turn 2, now up into that second position, so we would just hang on as we came through a couple laps later to the white flag here in Martinsville. Truex about half a track nearly ahead of second place, which belongs to us as we go down into turns 3 and turns 4 for the final time. Martin Truex Jr. wins here today at Martinsville. Kyle Busch closing fast, but not enough time as we hang on for our first career second place finish. Obviously, no stranger to second place if you watch the NASCAR Heat 3 career mode. We had way too many of those, but I would take it today because the car was handling really poorly on the long runs. This time the car wasn't slow on the long run. The car just handled terribly on the long run. That was the only problem. Now as we move back up into P3 in the point standings at this point, so not too bad. Can't complain about that. So very happy with the finishing result, but not happy with how the car drove in the long run. As there you see my quote after the race. The car was awfully loose, but we finished second. My biggest takeaway from today is just not to give up because we had such a bad handling car and we still somehow found a way to come back and finish in the second position. So certainly happy with that as we have some messages here.
Look, I don't know what's going on with you, but your awful driving is starting to annoy everyone. You better figure it out or someone is going to put you in the wall.
That audio was not synced with the video on the screen, which is interesting there. But Daniel Suarez is not even driving in the series because we're driving his car, but he's over here giving us video messages. But if you notice, you can actually see a script in his sunglasses of a guy holding it up. Interesting. I've seen that go around on Twitter a little bit. But certainly some drivers happy with us, some drivers not very happy with us. It's Martinsville. We're going to rough up some drivers here and there. That's just the way it goes at this racetrack. But as always, if you guys did enjoy this episode, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Those would all be very, very appreciated. I was really hoping we would get career win number 1 today in the Cup Series at Martinsville, but it wasn't quite meant to be. So in the next one, though, we do go to Texas. I don't know what our chances are going to be there. Obviously, in NASCAR Heat 3, it was always up and down. We either ran up in the top 10 at Texas, or we went down and finished like 20th. So it certainly could go either way. But there's some tracks I'm excited for coming up, like Kansas and Charlotte and Bristol. I'm very excited for Bristol. I love racing there, so I cannot wait for that one now as you see the point standings on your screen. But that will do it for this episode once again. So thank you all for taking the time out of your day to watch this one, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, everybody.